Our next guest was just 14 when he underwent intensive chemotherapy after being diagnosed with Hodgkins Lymphoma. He was warned at the time that the treatment could make him infertile and was advised to freeze his sperm if he wanted children in the future.
Now aged 28, James fully understands the importance of that decision. He joins us with his wife Claire and his beautiful and noisy 14-month-old daughter Lily. Is that your book? Is that your book? Guys, thanks for coming in. It's great to see you. I suppose it's extraordinary now, James, when you think back to when you were 14 and you initially told, look, you've got cancer and all this could transpire. When you look at Lily, all this time later, to think the journey you've been on.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think I didn't fully understand the implications of what I was going through when I was 14. But looking back on it now, and you know, the news and cancer is so widespread and it affects so many people that you know, you understand it a lot more.
I mean, how does a 14-year-old boy deal with that anyway? Because at 14, all of that kind of talk is embarrassing for a 14-year-old, and here they are telling you what you've got to do.
It was a bit of a shock, but I didn't really understand fully what it all meant, because you don't think that far ahead at that age. But
did you ever think, no, I'm not going to do that, I don't want to do that?
Sort of. I mean, it was a bit of a sort of embarrassing issue, because at 14 it's not the sort of thing that you want to discuss, especially with your parents as well.
And you hardly know anything about it.
No, that's right, you know, so they're talking about a lot of things that you haven't really thought about. But my dad took me to the side and we had a nice chat and decided to go for it.
Now, all these years later, do you sit down with your dad and laugh about that chat and think, how did you go about explaining what I was going to have to do?
Absolutely. I just think that as a parent now, you know, it's one of these conversations that it must have been difficult for him to approach, but he's done a really good job with it.
Yeah, of course. And then you met, because of course, you know, years pass and you're clear of the cancer, which was the first most important thing. Yeah. And you forget about it. You're not important until you meet Claire, and the relationship then starts to build. Did you know much about anything, Claire, and James' history?
Yeah, I knew of James and I knew of the history, but obviously he told me all about it when we first met, and yeah.
And did you know that he was potentially infertile as well?
Yes, I did, yes, because that conversation happened quite further, you know, down the line.
Was there a part of you that kind of hoped that maybe they were wrong?
Oh, definitely, yeah. We were clinging on to that hope, you know, you do, there's always hope. But,
yeah, it's just one of these things that, you know, you always hope. You know, I had a gut feeling that things might not be quite right, but you still cling on to that little percent that you think it might be okay.
So you had the test, but you realised that it wasn't going to happen naturally. And then the reality strikes you that, that's right, no, obviously very potent. I'm just saying, she's quite mean, isn't she?
It's just you, it's not you, she's frowning.
The reality strikes you, you think, goodness me, how lucky that I did that and I froze the sperm.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. You know, a whole wealth of concerns come through then that we were totally dependent on what was frozen the previous years ago. So then there was the questions of, will it still be okay? Will it still work okay? And, you know, how safe will it be? But, you know, looking at Lily now, it's just unbelievable.
It's
really.
very potent looking at it, which is the great thing. But when you decided to go for IVF and have it work, Claire, it didn't work first time around,
no,
is that right?
It didn't work first time. That was horrible, it's devastating.
She was delighted, though.
Because she's seen herself on the telly.
But that gets you, then you start thinking, that must bring up even more worry.
Yeah, I mean, after the first cycle, we were both devastated. We confided in friends and family who were fantastically supportive over the issue. And then we decided to go for the second attempt. And it was that time that we decided not to tell friends and family about it, because we felt like there was less pressure then when we were going through the process.
We felt that we were letting everybody else down, because do you know what I mean? They were...
Because they're all the expectation, as soon as you get married, it's right, when the baby's coming.
Or your friends are like, oh, when's baby coming along?
Because they don't know the history.
Absolutely,
Did you tell them at that point, or did you just go,
no,
we've not decided yet? Or...
We just said, let's just enjoy being married first, and we kind of brush it off with these loose comments. But, you know, deep down you're thinking, is it going to be okay? You know, will we be able to have children? So
was that, interestingly though, with all your friends, and was that a conversation you ended up having? When you say, look, guys, there's a reason that we can't...
No, I mean,
Is this the first time they've realised that?
Well, I mean, we kept it private. And, you know, a few people asked me, was everything okay? And I just sort of said yes. But we decided to come clean and say the whole situation. And since we've done that, it feels like a massive pressure's been taken off our chest. But we decided it recently because I'd done a recent charity event for the P.M. Brown ward in Southampton that treated me. I'd done the Great South Run, and we decided that this was a great opportunity to raise awareness of the situation, and that people can go through this kind of thing and still have a normal life, you know.
Yeah.
So that's when we decided that we'd tell everyone about it.
Wow. She's testament to the fact that it was so worthwhile doing as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Without question.
Will you be able to do it again? Do you have more?
Yeah, we've got some more stored, so for want of a better word, but
You're going back to the freezer.
Yeah, going back to the freezer. Yeah, but no, we should be okay to go for it again.
Great.
We'd like
brilliant.
to.
Yeah.
So,
Wonderful news, and you're a wonderful
Lovely
example,
story.
because if there is anyone out there, then you absolutely, as difficult as it would be for a young lad of 14, 15,
Yeah.
even a bit older than that, it's worth doing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Because you just never know.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your
Thanks
story.
very much.
Yeah, and it was lovely to meet you too, Lily.
Bye-bye. Oh, look at that. She doesn't like it.
She doesn't like it's you.
It's you. She's. Oh, you see,
there
she's
we
waving. Bye-bye. See, don't like him. If you've been affected by anything we've spoken about, please visit our website itv.com/thismorning.
Yeah, there's tons and tons of information for you there.